Hi guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. So if you could subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I have a video, and hit the like button and share, that would be awesome. Okay, today I'm going to talk about, someone had asked me in the comments, said they would like to know about this little 18-month-old boy, Joshua Davis Jr. He was from New Braunfels, Texas. This is so sad. This case is just, I've said this a million times, like, it's not easy for me to do any of these, but especially when it has to do with a child, it's just really hard. But I'm really, I'll go into it. So, Joshua Davis Jr. was 18 months old. He disappeared February 4th of 2011 from New Braunfels, Texas. There were supposedly 9 people in his home at the time of his disappearance. He was reported that he disappeared between 8 and 8:20 p.m. His mom was 8 months pregnant with a son. They were hosting a party at their house, so, there were people there. Okay, so police initially, after getting the call, believed that Joshua had somehow gotten outside and ran away, just disappeared. It was 19 degrees Fahrenheit, so the police knew that had that have actually happened, he wouldn't last very long. So that's scary. Excuse me. Police dogs were used, and I guess there was a scent in the yard, but they didn't pick up anything past that. Joshua's parents immediately believed he had been abducted. They didn't believe for a second that he had wandered off. They also suspected that a friend that had left prior to the baby disappearing had something to do with it. And this particular friend told the police this particular friend that they suspected told the police like conflicting stories, and he refused to take a polygraph test. Now, there could be many reasons for that, but I know they do say, like, if you've done if you've smoked marijuana or done specific drugs within a certain period of time prior to taking a polygraph, then it's going to come up inconclusive or you're going to fail. I mean, that's what I know from when I worked with this one particular company. So I don't know if that's, upon researching the aspect, maybe that's why this person said, oh no, I don't want to take a polygraph. I don't know. Just a thought. Okay. So the police still to this day feel that the adults in the house know more about what happened to him than what they're saying. They believe something went down, that the parents know and the people that were there know, and they're just not talking. So, okay, so from the very beginning when I tried to connect with him, I got really nauseous and I was struggling to breathe. I felt like I was hyperventilating. I have that sometimes when when people are killed a specific way, I'll have like the reaction to it. So I've never had like an anxiety attack, but I just, I was doing that. Like I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't breathe. And I was nauseous. So I don't know. I maybe that's how he passed away. I don't know. I was definitely like really struggling to breathe. It was not a good feeling. So I just want to say that, first of all, he was the cutest little boy. He was just adorable. But I noticed he was like really tiny. And I'm thinking back to when my son was 18 months old, and he was just really tiny. I don't know if there was a reason for it, if it was because of health issues or what, but he was awfully small. Like, he was just a tiny little boy. Okay, then I was able to see that I was now, like, looking down into like someone's house. It almost felt like I was in a trailer, but it wasn't like real cramped and tiny. But I do feel like I was maybe in a trailer. After the fact, when I researched, I'd read that I guess they lived in a trailer, so that would explain it, I guess. Yeah, and I was focusing on, I could see Joshua, I could see the baby, and he's just kind of like tootling along. Yeah. Okay. So I saw a pregnant woman. I'm assuming she was very pregnant. I'm assuming that was Joshua's mother. I saw an older couple kind of congregated with her. They appeared to be maybe husband and wife. And then I saw who I think was Joshua's father and two men standing there. They had clearly been drinking. And I did see a syringe laying there. I saw a little baggie laying there. So I think some kind of drug. They were doing some kind of drug as well. And I'm not saying that to, I don't want to say that to make the parents look bad, you know. I'm just discussing what I'm seeing. That's it. I mean, I don't know who, they acted like they were drunk, these three guys. I don't know if they in fact had partaken of drugs at that point. I don't know, but they acted drunk. Like, you know, they were having a good old time. They were drunk. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm, you know, guessing at this point that this was the scene. You know, what I was seeing was the scene of when Joshua, you know, disappeared. Okay, so for some reason, then I was just kind of like whisked outside. So I'm outside. I see three vehicles parked by this place. I see this one. What did I write? Because I could see it clearly. Okay. It was like a dark colored, like not new, but like an older, maybe Honda or Toyota or Hyundai or something. And I see this young couple walk up to it. Now, keep in mind, it's nighttime. It's cold. It's not real lit up. It's not real bright. It's kind of like dark there for some reason. Not just because it's nighttime, but it just seemed excessively dark right there. Like there's not a lot of like lights around. So I see this young couple walking up towards this car. The door flies open and I see this guy coming out. He was one of the guys that was at that table where I thought they had partaken of drugs at some point. He had clearly been drinking. He was intoxicated in some way. He was kind of having a hard time walking straight. He was angry. He was talking about him, referring to him like he was angry at somebody. And I felt like he was angry at one of the other two guys that was there with him at the table where I initially saw them. I mean, he was obviously really angry. And as he came out, referring, you know, going off about him, it's like he knew the young couple because he immediately walked up to him and started like conversating with them. So the young guy of that young couple were like, let's just get in the car, let's go. You know, he was trying to calm him down. The woman was trying to calm him down. So the woman gets in the back seat and the other guy's like, let me drive. And the guy who comes out who's clearly intoxicated and pissed off is like, no, I'm freaking driving. But he said the other word. And he jumps in the driver's seat. They all get in the car. He's going off, still going off, hasn't, you know, is just yapping, starts the car, yapping, pissed off about him. He did this and he did that. And I hear another sound, which I now know is like there's just like a spring, like a spring door, I think, and it snapped back and I see little Joshua. Okay. It's 19 degrees outside. Like it's freezing cold, right? He comes out and he's just, you know, just being a little kid, being a toddler. Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, I mean, you know where I'm going with this, like just to relive it and talk about it's kind of hard. Yeah. So the guy puts the car in reverse and backs up and all of a sudden you hear a thud and He slams the car into park, and the guy in the passenger seat jumps out, and the driver jumps out and runs back to the back to see what they hit. Well, they hit the little baby. They hit Joshua. There was no blood. There was no huge dent. The baby didn't make a sound. It's like the baby was passed out. I don't know if he was gone at this point or not. But the guy in the driver's seat was like hysterical at this point. You know, he was already drunk and agitated and possibly on some kind of drug. And so he kind of like hands the boy off to his friend, the passenger, and they jump in the car and they take off. I don't know. So about 45 minutes, I would say, kind of goes by, and I'm just kind of there, and I'm seeing everybody inside, and I can't see the car and the couple and the guy and the baby at this point. And all of a sudden, the mom starts looking for the baby. Finally. And she can't find the baby. Now, interestingly enough, she told the police that, she had seen him and then he was gone for maybe 20, 25 minutes. But that's not true. It was a lot longer than that. Not that it matters, but, so, yeah. Anyway, so at some point, maybe the next day, I don't even know the timeline, but the guy who was agitated, who was the driver of the car that hit the baby, called Joshua's parents, called Joshua's dad and talked to him. I don't know if that's why the parents think that this guy who left early was the one responsible for abducting their child. But for some reason, I don't think he told the parents that he took the baby. Like, I don't think he told them anything like that. But I think that's why the mom and dad suspect, is because when he called, like, I'm thinking it was the next day. I don't know, hell, it could have been 5 days later. I feel like he was kind of like a dead giveaway. The way he was talking, not necessarily what he was saying, but the way he was talking was like a dead giveaway. So, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I had, spells of trying to catch my breath. And, like I said, I've never had an anxiety attack, but that's almost what it felt like. Like, it was just harder and harder to breathe. And I'm wondering if that's what happened to the baby when he died, or maybe he had a health issue. I don't know, but I just felt like the tightness, and I was like gasping for air. But it's just horrible. But I will tell you this. I will tell you that regardless of the life he was given on this earth, he's in a good place now. And that's the most important thing. Yeah. It's a hard one, guys. Just a really hard one. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So that's all I've got to say. Be nice to people. Be nice to people. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Have a great day. Bye.